Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Ji ayanu. Pakhair agale. Ni hao. Chunashumme. Washmale. Ohai gozaimasu. Guten Morgen. Hola. Bonjour. Privyet. Kaifa hal? Hale shuma chutore. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaba. Buna. Mucho. Gracias. Swabi. Balli kare. Hosh Galdin. And thank you very much, everybody, for tuning into PT World. You're definitely watching World this morning on a very fine rainy morning over here in Islamabad alongside me. I'm very lucky to have been joined by my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Hajar Sati. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan, a little under the weather, but ladies and gentlemen, we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your week and day with us. Hello Hajar, how are you doing today?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for asking me. And as you said that, weather is really great. After 46 degrees centigrade, now we are experiencing 22 degrees centigrade. And what more blessing of Allah we can have, right? So Shahzad, I really wanted to share something with you.
Go ahead.
On the weekend I was watching a drama called Alpha Bravo Charlie, which was our, sweetheart drama when we were growing up as a kid.
True.
So I came across a clip in that, and that really sparked my thinking. And it was, that the captain inside that drama, he got posted to the Siachen and he doesn't want to go there.
Bulshet.
The other one, I forgot his name. Okay.
Faraz.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, so, and he doesn't want to go there, and he wants to, ask his father to stop his posting, but he's very, sarkari sort of a general, and he doesn't want to do that. So he tries to entice the, wife of his commanding officer at that time, you remember?
Yeah, but it's not Faraz, it's the third character.
It's the third character, whose limbs got cut off because of the frostbite, right? And he goes to the shopping mall with the wife of the commanding officer, and you know what? He says to the shopkeeper that I will pay you money, but just give, the wife discount so that she gets impressed and she put some good words about me to my commanding officer so that my posting could be stopped. That trick works because the wife is really impressed with that. So that got me thinking that I have seen my mother doing the savings a lot. And our generation, we do not believe in saving. Rather we would go and for the every sale that is on the brand, and I've seen that how much shift is going on inside this century, the modern 21st century, I would say, where we are unable to differentiate between our needs and our wants, right?
Exactly.
So our mother were always, ritualize this thing of saving, and we are just hell-bent on spending and being a spendthrifter and whatnot. So, I just felt that, it's worth sharing that because...
And I think it was wonderful, and thank you very much for kind of sharing such a wonderful thought, because the connection was really something which everybody could understand as well. And, just yesterday, so I actually had to drop my elder brother to the airport, and one of my younger daughters accompanied me. She's only 3 years old. So ever since I was traveling towards the airport, she kept on saying, hey dad, I need to go shopping. Hey dad, I need to go shopping. So, I was not able to find any other shop, so I actually had to go within the airport premises as well, where the toys were really very expensive. And I was like, hey, you know what, now she said it, I will have to get her no matter what happens. But, if it would have been her mother, I think that the situation would have been very different as well. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, I think she's spoken very rightly, where yes, we certainly do not understand what do we need and what are our wants as well. So, we at times do confuse it. But before we kind of talk further more about needs and wants, I think what we really need to talk about is the weather over here in Pakistan. It's lovely, as my wonderful colleague said, that now it's 21 and 22. It's a little chilly, and yes, obviously I'm under the weather. I don't know why, but it's cold. But imagine that Met Office informed that a strong weather system is likely to enter upper and central parts of the country today. And under the influence of this weather system, widespread rain, windstorm and thunder shower are expected in most parts of the country. Hajar, imagine that scattered heavy to very heavy falls with isolated hailstorm are also predicted. So please make sure that you park your cars under a roof, because otherwise, you certainly do not want that hailstorm to ruin or dent your car as well.
And moving on to our second news, which is also related to the weather. So National Disaster Management Authority has issued the advisory for all the department concerned to remain alert and vigilant as a series of a heavy rain start across the country. And you know what, Shahzad, according to the latest advisory by Pakistan Met Department, a series of torrential rains and winds and thunder showers begin in the upper and central parts of the country and will continue till Wednesday. I think that's a respite from the 46 and 47 degrees centigrade.
So, the advisory is out there for everybody, who might be certainly living in those areas where we can probably expect flash floods too as well. I think everybody needs to be responsible for themselves. The advisory is out there. Please make sure that you kind of look after yourselves, your belongings, your livestock, everything. Now you're the one responsible. Now moving on towards how PTV just initially, a few days ago, under the auspices of the Information Minister herself, launched the film logo for Pakistan television. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will certainly take you back 2 or 3 days back where the Naksh Film Festival was taking place. We have a few visuals and a report to share. Go ahead, take a look. When you guys will come back, we are going to observe a very important day today because our culture and our religion is very close to it. Let's go.
The final award distribution ceremony of Naksh Digital Film Festival, a nationwide event to showcase short film and documentaries created by students, amateurs and emerging professionals, was held in Fatma Jinnah Women University. Naksh Digital Film Festival is an initiative of Fatma Jinnah Women University in collaboration with Rhyme Digital for the ambitious and enthusiastic youth of Pakistan.
This film festival is the first of its kind by inviting submissions from across Pakistan. This has been a one event whereby we feel that it allows our youth to express and capture the social issues, but there's a variety of themes that came up.
Renowned personalities of Pakistani media industries graced the occasion, including Shahzad Nawaz, Nurul Hassan, Ahmed Sohail Basra, Mehmoona Qadoos, Parvez Akhtar, Hajra Yamin, Ejaz Gul, Nargis Hashmi, Akil Shah and Syed Farooq Hassan. Diplomats from the US Embassy, representatives from advertising agencies and production houses were present at the ceremony. Veteran actor Jamal Shah was the chief guest of the ceremony.
I think the festival was very good entries, and the participation was great. We are celebrating imagination with that first Naksh Film Festival, and it was great meeting such beautiful, talented and intelligent ladies here.
These women are incredible, and they're hard workers, they're consistent, they're survivors in the industry, they know how to make their plays, and I think this festival was very, very, very important to empower them, to give them that confidence that they can also, ace it on field.
Tana Bana by Hamza Farooq won the award of Best Documentary in Professional category. Maim Alangni by Ahmed Abbas won the award of Best Documentary in Student category. In the category of short films, Don't Be Afraid Jia by Hamza Beg secured first position for the professional category, and Uns by Abu Bakr won the Best Short Film award in the student category.
And I feel a bit privileged that Naksh gave me the opportunity to showcase my work.
Yasir Qadir, CEO of Rhyme Digital and collaborator of festival, said Pakistan has a strong talent based on witness through all these entries, and it is the right time to focus on digital media sector from content and platform creation perspective.
And considering that we have such talent, PTV would like to definitely support the cause, and since the government wants to support films as well.
Mr. Muhammad Ali, Director Naksh Film Festival and Head of CMS Department of Fatma Jinnah Women University, were of the view that such platform for the students where they can learn and experience the practical aspect of production are essential, which ultimately leads toward creating a skilled workforce for the media industry.
It was a wonderful venture as far as the CMS is concerned, because by this time when technology has overpowered everything and you have to introduce such subjects.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so these were the visuals from the Naksh Digital Film Festival as well, where Jamal Shah Sahab obviously were the chief guest as well. And it's been long that I haven't really seen Jamal Shah Sahab working in a film as well. And sir, I think that you really need to do so. You will grace the screen too as well. But very quickly, I just want your take on this as well, because you've seen how larger number of people attended the film festival. But why is it that people do not certainly go to cinemas to promote our films?
I think that's a very difficult question to ask me, and you certainly want me to fish in a very hot waters, but I think people do go to cinemas. It's not like that. I do feel that somehow the cinema culture was somewhat diminished in 90s, but I do feel that it's going on the track. We see a lot of films are coming out, and there are a lot of people who are flocking towards the cinemas. Of course, it will take some more time to refine our talent, to polish it more and to attract more audience out of it, but on the whole I'm really optimistic optimistic about, that the vibrant cinema culture, that is thriving.
But I believe I have a very valid reason, because people have gone to watch Doctor Strange, people have gone to watch Top Gun, but people haven't really watched Dam Mastam. But I think it is because of the fact that the news channels and the entire TV industry really needs to promote the culture, and that's how you're going to get people to cinema. But now coming down to what are we talking about today, happens to be a very important day. Please go ahead.
Of course. So this is something that is close to my heart. Today is the World Refugee Day, and Shahzad, I always say that we are the nation that was born out of this crisis, the refugee crisis, because 6 million people migrated to Pakistan and 5 million people migrated towards our neighboring country.
Yeah, so World Refugee Day, ladies and gentlemen, is being observed today across the country to honor the courage of refugees around the world who have been forced outside of their homes. This year, the theme for World Refugee Day is Together We Heal, Learn and Shine. The day aims to build understanding and empathy for refugees building their life in countries new to them. The UN has called for the greater inclusion of refugees in the healthcare system across the world.
Right, that's amazing. And I also feel that, the reason why we celebrate the refugee crisis is because, there are more nations, the developed nations, who need to be acclimatized with this fact, that there are people who are suffering in the global south and they need more protection in that sense. And I also, I was doing the research for this program. I came across that this is not actually the refugee crisis. This is the crisis of humanness.
True.
Because, that morality, that humanness is certainly diminishing away somehow from our planet Earth. And that is why we are in this.
Humanelessness, I think. I think that's how I would want to refer to it as well.
Yes,
And thank you very much for pinpointing this point, Hajra, because imagine that 80% of the refugee population lives in developing countries, where we really need to kind of talk about burden sharing and what initiatives can be taken so that there's more awareness around people as well. We as Muslims, no matter whoever's going to come to our place, we will always welcome them with arms wide open as well. But we do have amazing guests away in the studios to talk about this very important issue and the topic as well. So first things first, let's introduce our wonderful guest. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who actually happens to be an ambassador permanent for Mayors for Peace International, Hiroshima, Japan, former senior diplomat of Pakistan, US peacekeeping mission. He's been a part of that as well. He is Ambassador Salahuddin Chaudhry Saab. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Shahzad, to have me with you.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Wonderful to have you. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we're lucky that we've actually been joined by the Chief Executive Officer, Shop Pakistan. He happens to be Muhammad Mudassir Javed Saab. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Very good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. First things first, sir, let's highlight the importance of this day, which I believe is really very important, and the significance of this day, and how far do you think that the message needs to go? Please go ahead.
First thing first, what Hajra said just earlier, humanness is most important element for a human race. And what is a refugee after all? A refugee is a human being. An animal cannot become a refugee. So dignity is first for a human being, and the right of that particular person or a human being, the fundamental right to life. Right to life, to live, is so important that it becomes part and parcel of a human being, even if he becomes a refugee. Now, the World Refugee Day today, very important day, 20th of June, and it has been designated by the United Nations as such, and it is being observed and celebrated for the last 22 years. It started in 2001, following the anniversary of the World Refugee Status, and it took the shape of World Refugee Day. In the context of refugees, the most important thing that we got to see and find out what we are doing. On a World Refugee Day, we are trying to show our respect and honor a human being. A human being who becomes a refugee after trying to flee his home country, either due to war or conflict or due to persecution.
Or inflation.
Well, another thing. Another kind of refugee status will be. Okay.
Yes.
And so he or she or the family have to leave the country, the home country, sweet country, and go away, for refuge, for shelter. In this context, year 2022 has been designated as a year for refugees to safety. safety from all the persecution, conflict, wars, all difficulties, including dehumanization, which you just mentioned, Hajra, is very, very important. That's why I say dignity is first. Once we understand what is dignity for a human being and what is right to life, then we will follow suit and we will try to honor these refugees as much as possible.
And that's exactly what we need to do as well, which is why very quickly, I know Hajra that you actually have a question too as well, but Mudassir bhai, you know, it actually is going to come down to whenever, wherever, whatever.
Yes.
You know, so these are the three things. So
Yes.
whenever they want to decide to leave their country, however, whatever, you know, these are the conditions. But that's not how it is. You know, when we talk about refugees, you know, the countries or the developed countries are not open to the idea of accepting refugees, even if they will 20, 50 or 100. Whereas Pakistan, if we look at the country, I think thousands of refugees do reside within Pakistan. And we will always be there to help them, you know, may it be camps as well. So how do you think that we can actually unilaterally come down to a point whenever, wherever, whatever?
I would agree, as you started early. You said yet 80% of the refugees are living in developing countries. That's how it works here.
Yep.
And I mean, all the burden is on the developing countries, and developed countries have their border management systems. These they have technologies and everything. They know how to restrict refugees, and these kind of population who are vulnerable are in the painful situation. That's how, I mean, they are not allowed to go to or cross borders there. Fortunately or unfortunately, I would say Pakistan is hosting millions of Afghan refugees in Pakistan from last 4 decades. And you know, Pakistan has its own security and economic issues and other issues as well, but still government of Pakistan and people of Pakistan generously contributing towards this human crisis for a long time. And it's right time to invest. International community should invest more resources, allocate more resources, and as you said earlier on, burden sharing is very important at the moment. You know, Pakistan is hosting this big population for a long time, and after a regime change in Kabul recently, we have nearly 500,000 people also came. And you know, there is no system available for them, as Sir just mentioned, that everybody has a right for the safety to live life or dignified life, but here you know, we don't have these processes to give them asylums and all these things. So we need to work and really very hard, and I must appreciate Pakistani nation and government of Pakistan and every institution, all the ministries, they have contributed wonderfully to manage this crisis. However, we need to do more, because you know, they are here for a long time, and we need to invest more resources, especially for the young people. And nowadays, the burden is on our health facilities and our education system, and host communities at different areas also suffering, where most of the people are living. So it's very important that everybody should, on this day where we always acknowledge and honor the sacrifices of refugees, and we always contribute towards these to meet these challenges. So it's very important.
Right. Right. So Mudassir Sahab, I really wanted to ask you this question. And as I mentioned that we were the country that was born out of this refugee crisis, because, you know, 6 million people came in. And then, you know, we always see, especially on the Independence Day, that there were very compassionate footages coming out where Fatma Jinnah was visiting the refugee camps. And we also hear a lot of stories, you know, where people hosted the refugees, especially in the aftermath of the partition. And Pakistan, as you said, that has been hosting, I think is one of the largest refugee hosting nation. It's, I think, second largest or something like that. And Afghan refugees have been here for 3 or 4 decades now, and some of them were born here, they were raised here, and I don't think so they have any memory of Afghanistan in that sense. But this kind of, you know, representation that we get in the Western media is always, you know, so negative, so dark about it. That's why we are having this show, because we want our stories to get out, because we want to tell our stories of this World Refugee Day. So do you have any stories about, you know, the refugees that you want to share, you know, why they choose Pakistan in the first place?
You know, I mean, thank you very much again. Pakistan is like a border sharing with Afghanistan.
Right,
so
right.
It's easy for Afghans to come into Pakistan or other communities, just because we are a Muslim nation and we have kind of same culture, same food pattern, same
Dressing
tradition and values. That's why, and it's easy to be here in Pakistan because of our porous border, and they can but after this it's very challenging because no, we have established our border systems, have secured the borders, and nowadays refugees are struggling. But anyways, as mentioned earlier, that whoever, wherever, whenever, who comes by boat or sea or plane or maybe on foot, or so they have right for asylum, they have right for a right to their life, they can come and stay here. For international community, as we have been sacrificing for a long time, and I always, whenever I interact with the diplomats and international community, they always appreciate. We have got thousands of appreciation letters from the international community and from the diplomats and everywhere, that for refugee phenomena, Pakistan has been great for hosting millions of Afghans. But the priority has been changing. The funding has been shrinking since last 5 or 7 years. Because I'm in this profession or domain for 7-8 years now, specifically refugee phenomena. So I could see that marginally funding has been increased. Priorities has been changing. And this could jeopardize all the efforts international community or Pakistan has made over the year. So coming back to your story question, every day we have hundreds of people gathered at our office just for information, for a piece of paper, for anything. They want information, where they can go for hospitalization, where they can go for school, education for their children, or maybe they want to know about the embassies, that how can they get resettled. For little, if you talk to a refugee for 2 or 3 seconds, they'll be pretty much happy. And we always stress upon our colleagues as well, that always deal with them compassionately and put yourself into their shoes, that how they have been into this situation. Stories are very painful. I mean, we have hundreds and thousands of stories, because every day we have so many people coming to our office. Recently, I mean, there were a refugee family who lost their parents and their grandparents, and they were on their own. They were 2 young boys. They went to Quetta, and then after that they couldn't approach any. They were they were arrested. They were young people. They were arrested, sent back again, and somebody while going back, while crossing border again, somebody just saw them, and he might have this humanitarian vision or might have compassionate feelings. So he let them again, maybe our authorities or somebody, and then they had to pay somebody. They had a watch and these kind of mobile and these kind of things to drivers. They had to come under the they were trafficked or illegally migrated or whatever. They had to hide themselves under the truck, and they had to come to Quetta again. Then they had to to live with some family, and somebody anybody who has some soft heart, they spoke to them and they brought them here in Islamabad, and we facilitate the process.
And this is how it is, and this is how it is usually when we talk about refugees. Their life is difficult as well. But with the same question, I want to move on to you, His Excellency, Ambassador Permanent as well, and that is that you've been a part of UN peacekeeping mission as well. When we talk about refugees, obviously it has to do quite a lot with peacekeeping too at the same time. It's a lot of human resource coming into your country, never knowing what, God forbid, can be nefarious designs too at the same time, can be an agenda of an agency. And then at the same time, obviously people who are literally displaced from their homes and their places as well. Now, how do you think for any country which is developing as Pakistan, where the resources are always on a shortfall, and to accommodate so many people, just because that's what our religion teaches us, that's the culture over here. And imagine that the people who've been coming and settling in Pakistan is no more less than Pakistanis to us, at the same time. So how do you think that we kind of shape a system where, we do facilitate them? For example, if I go to Shifa International Hospital, I see different reception and receptionists who are over there, and they will translate and they will get themselves treated. But how do we actually have a system which is looking after the refugees out there?
Shahzad and Hajra, whereas a human being is supposed to be good and wonderful.
True.
But at the same time, a human being also has negative values and negative approaches.
True, sir.
That's also a fact. So in the context of Afghanistan, whereas there has been negative fallout with their arrival, as you said, 4 to 5, 6 million people, but there has been a lot of positive results as well.
True.
Like you said, Shahzad, the cultural amalgamation, the culture they brought in, the ways of life they brought in, the skill they brought in, and of course the passion they brought in, as you said, being Muslims, okay, and being within the same culture.
Exactly.
So that became a plus point for Pakistan as a government and Pakistani nation and as a people to accept them. Acceptability is most important. Exactly. If you open your eyes like we have the nature of keeping our arms open all the time. And when you do that, then the other persons look at you and see the response.
Right.
They feel comfortable.
Right.
And they come quickly and embrace you too. And that's the beauty that Pakistan has had in the context of refugees being hosted in Pakistan. Although there have been lot of difficulties for the Pakistan government. But I must say that it has actually, Hajra, you said earlier, Pakistan is not so well known. But I'm telling you, when I was abroad, wherever I served, I found the Afghanistan refugees being hosted by Pakistan was the top of the thing that Pakistan did.
True.
And there was so much of publicity.
But it hardly projected.
But we didn't see because we were there abroad.
Right.
But at the same time, if you compare to Bosnia, where I was located, the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission, they got fantastic publicity. You know why? Because the persecution was visible.
Yeah.
Here, there is no persecution.
True.
The Afghan refugees are not being tortured. The Afghan refugees are not in ghettos and things like that. Back in Bosnia, Croatia, Yugoslavia, people were being massacred and people were being tortured, and that became the source of media publicity all over the world.
Right, yes.
And that's where they got attention so quickly. Well, although it is a way of life, but you should also accept it in that. But most important, Pakistan is known with the United Nations, with the Security Council, with the Western world, that it has suffered while hosting so huge a number and for such a long time. And we're still doing it.
Right, sir. I really wanted to ask you this question that, since the Afghan refugee crisis was in the news recently, but then it got overshadowed by the Ukraine crisis, right?
Yeah.
And as I said before, that Pakistan is one of the largest refugee hosting nation. Why do you think, that we are hosting the refugees and considering the fact that we have meager resources and we have, really not very strong economy as compared to the West, because, Germany initially accepted refugees in the aftermath of the Syrian crisis, but then, they had to face a lot of backlash and they had to change their strategy of, open borders. So what is in us, which is not present in the West or transatlantic West, which differentiates us in that sense?
That humane value.
There is, well, although I would not wholly, buy that point,
okay,
but certainly there is a truth in that as well. You see, in the Western countries, European countries, keeping in view the history, they have remained, especially the government, have remained, very not oblivious, very conscious of immigration issue.
Yep.
So whenever refugees
that's
went
an
to those
extension
countries,
of colonialism, right?
Yeah, it is in a way. Yes, exactly. You're right.
Right.
So, but this is a fact as well.
Right.
And so things happened, and they normally would not like to accept, a refugee just like that, because he or she will become a burden on them.
Right.
We do not have a proper legislated rule in place.
Okay.
So we cannot vote, like you said, Mudassar earlier, asylum problem. We do not have that problem as yet, although it is there as per law, but we do not go by it. But in the Western countries, they are very conscious, and they would not like to buy it at all. They would not allow the immigrants to come in because there have been so many problems. Although it is inhuman from my point of view.
and sir, for example, there was this social experiment I saw, somewhere where, the rednecks actually live in US as well. And, so there was this Asian who actually had a billboard, he was carrying a board. And then, there were a lot of people who actually just stopped and were abusing at that gentleman too as well, just because of the color of his or her skin as well. And that's the problem which exists in their community. And we obviously, किसी अरबी को अजमी पर किसी से फजीलत हासिल नहीं है, avid believers of that. But very quickly towards
but
the end.
can I just interject quickly,
No,
Joseph,
please.
if you permit me?
Yeah, please.
You see, I will just give one simple example of my experience in Yugoslavia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, you know, UNHCR, of which he has been very closely associated with us, there, even the refugees used to be, many of them were POWs.
Okay.
And the treatment, the maltreatment is unbelievable. So we as UN, UN officers or UN representatives had to interact with the UNHCR, trying to provide solace and whatever possible to make them feel better and in the prisons. And they are refugees, but put within the prisons because they have committed some crime, something of that sort. So you're right, in that context, and many things are not done the way they should be.
Exactly. And thank you very much for saying that, because you've 100% agreed to our research as well and the way we wanted the conversation to be. But towards the end, Chief Executive Officer Sharp, what I wanted to ask you was that, if we are a nation who on a larger scale have been hosting refugees, why do you think that we're actually not a part of the Refugee Convention, number one? And then, UNHCR obviously sir spoke about it. What solutions does UNHCR give for refugees to be hosted in the way?
Main agency for protecting refugees is UNHCR, and I mean, of course, they manage everything. They provide durable solution for this displaced migration or refugee situation. First, they offer repatriation, dignified repatriation back to their country. Like if somebody is Afghan living in Pakistan, things are settled back home, they will go through process of UNHCR and IM. They facilitate that process. Secondly, they integrate if somebody is Afghan living in Pakistan, they can be integrated here. But in Pakistani concept, we don't have. We are not signatory to Refugee Convention 1961. We are not even signatory to Protocol 67. And on humanitarian basis, we are accommodating such a.
And we will continue to do so.
Yeah, we'll do that. And the third, UNHCR provides a resettlement, like to any other country. For example, any European country or America would say that we need these number of people there. But unfortunately, that's not happening frequently. And this is discriminated towards Afghans or people who are living in Pakistan. And I wish and hope that international community listens to this. And
thank you very much, CEO Sharp, and thank you very much, Ambassador Permanent, His Excellency Salahuddin Saab, for being with us on such an important day where we certainly wanted to raise awareness and highlight the importance of this day and the lives of the people who, ladies and gentlemen, have lost their homes and have lost each and everything to them as well. And they, in hope, go to or move to another country so that they can restart their lives all over again for the betterment of their kids and the future generations as well. Pakistan has been a part of it. Pakistan will always be a part of it. And Pakistanis will always be a part of it in helping people, whether they are displaced, whether they call themselves refugees as well. And we will continue to strive for excellence no matter what happens, because we are a resilient nation. And with that, we're actually heading on towards a short break when you guys will come back, just because we're so happy of the fact that we've done so much. Alhamdulillah, Allah will give us the ajr, but we certainly want to sing a few songs too as well.
Right.
We're heading out towards the short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning.
is life.
Hey, you guys are still here. Thank you very much for staying tuned to PT World. You're definitely watching World this morning. The wonderful colleague of mine is known as Miss Hajar Sati. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan. And yes, obviously, earlier we were talking about World Refugee Day. And we had some superb guests over here who actually spoke their heart out. And I felt great. And we felt great, in fact, because we are one of those resilient nations who've been hosting refugees ever since as well. Not that we are part of any convention or any protocols, but it's just out of our humanitarian hearts as well. So imagine now, I think it's about time that we actually kind of celebrate it, because I think it's a great job and it's a great deal too as well. So we're very lucky that we've been joined by an aspiring singer who's been singing ever since she kind of realized that, hey, you know, I can sing. And then we certainly want to test the vocal cords as well, because they, I believe, are very scintillating too as well to the ears. We're very lucky that we have been joined by Ms. Taiba. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm fine. How
Thank
are
you very much for joining us, Taiba. It's wonderful to have you over here.
Thank you.
And the weather is great outside, right?
Yeah.
So whenever it's raining, do you feel like singing songs?
Yeah.
So which song were you singing while you were coming towards our studio today?
Actually, there is just a mashup.
Okay.
It just released 2 days ago.
Yeah. And you sang it yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. So who did you do this mashup with, or you know, which singer's song did you pick up and then did a mashup?
Actually, it's a combination of Kashmiri and Pakistani songs.
Wow.
So
would you mind singing it for us?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, let's go ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a mashup coming from Miss Taiba, and that too on a platform of PT World. Let's go. Let's take it away.
Dilbaro mein dilas, dilbaro mein dilas, kaas kaan galai, babalai, chane didar sa, babalai, chane didar sa. वे आजा दिल जानिया, वे कर मेहरबानिया, वे आजा दिल जानिया, वे कर मेहरबानिया, ना दुखा विच रोल वे, ना जिंद साडी रोल वे, ना दुखा विच रोल वे, ना जिंद साडी रोल वे। ओ ढोला सानू प्यार दे नशेआं ते लाके, वे हुण साडा जानू नहीं ओ बनदा। हो ढोला सानू प्यार दे नशेआं ते लाके, वे हुण साडा जानू नहीं ओ बनदा।
Wow, yeah, that was fabulous. You've got such great vocals, and for somebody you know who's as young and as talented you are, you obviously have a very bright future ahead. But very quickly, before we ask you, you know, how you got into music, you know, the very first song which you were singing, Babulash something, what does it mean?
No, actually,
is it in Kashmiri? Is it in Kashmiri language? The very first song?
No, it was in Urdu. Actually, I write my own songs.
Okay.
The first song was Kuch Log Alag Se Hote Hain.
Okay.
It's written by my own self.
Wow. Wow, that's wonderful. So you wrote your own lyrics, and then you made sure that you were going to sing it, and you got some amazing. So when did you start singing?
I think it's if we talk that if it's professionally, I started it from last 2 years.
All right, and unprofessionally?
unprofessionally from childhood.
From childhood, you've been singing.
Right, was a COVID a driving force in you venturing into that field, because I think we were all locked inside our houses.
And who did you grew up listening to? So maybe Madam Noor Jahan, maybe Quratul Baloch, maybe any modern singers or folklore singers.
Yeah, modern singers like Atif Aslam.
Okay.
Because I sing most of the pop songs.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's the
Anyways, Rahat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab.
Yeah, but I'm not classical singer.
You're not, but I think that you've got the vocals to be a classical singer too as well.
I think so.
Have you tried it?
Never.
Never? Do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you think that that the pop music will actually relate more with the youngsters over here in Pakistan rather than singing the
yeah, actually most of the people said that you got a voice for the pop singing.
All right. So I think there's a hint of Nasibo Lalji as well.
Yeah.
When we listen to your vocals, and I think it's great.
Right,
So do you remember that Nasibo Lal song, the PSL song? Can you sing that song for us?
No.
No, why not?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, which one do you think that you are most comfortable singing?
It's like Seraiki.
Seraiki? Oh, yeah. Sahir Ali Bagga?
Sahir Ali Bagga.
He's got that one Seraiki song, right?
Yeah, but
So whichever you were comfortable with, please go ahead.
Okay. हो मड़ा ते मड़ा सही यार जो है कुछ भी होवे ओ साडा प्यार जो है हो मड़ा ते मड़ा सही यार जो है कुछ भी होवे ओ साडा प्यार जो है क्यों माये दा क्यों ढोले दा गिला करा मैं तलख वारी बिस्मिल्लाह करा हो बिस्मिल्लाह करा हो बिस्मिल्लाह करा चंगे होवण यार ते हर कोई सड़दा है ताइयों सारा शहर मेरे नाल लड़दा है ओ सारे तो वड्डा फनकार जो है कुछ भी होवे ओ साडा प्यार जो है क्यों माये दा क्यों ढोले दा गिला करा मैं तलख वारी बिस्मिल्लाह करा.
Wow, that's the Lakhwari Bismillah Kara Kyun Maiye the Gila Kara. But the best part over here is that while you were singing, I could see that Haja was trying to sing as well.
No,
so why do
you always pull my leg on that? I can't
so
sing.
Why don't
I can't sing.
No, what we can do is that we can actually request Taiba to teach us some sur as well. And we can certainly practice. So do you practice? Do you riyaz yourself?
No.
No, not at all. So you were born with this talent, alhamdulillah?
Yeah.
So we weren't born with this talent, but we certainly want to learn, all right? We want to equip ourselves with some good vocals. So how do you think that we can exercise at our houses or homes?
I don't think so. I can, excel at this field. I think this is the Shehzad's field, and if he wants to go ahead for it, right?
No, but we both can try as a team, right?
Right.
So give us some surs. Any sur. Please go ahead. How do we do that?
Like how do we do?
How do we practice our own vocal cords to be as amazing as you are?
It's like sa re ga ma pa.
Sa re ga ma pa. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Haja. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Come on.
Okay. So it is sad about the music. Okay.
Right,
okay. So it is sad about the music. This is a driving soul that brings out everything in us, from art to war. So what exactly are the genres that you listen to it? When it comes to music.
It was pop.
That's it. Yeah.
Singing.
Right. And which particular singers do you like in the pop?
But actually, the most singing which attracts me, it's love songs like. Maybe if it's
December has something like that. Bravo, he's a great singer too as well. But what we should do is that we should actually kind of request you to sing an original of your own as well. Which you've written yourself, which you've composed yourself, and that's how the audience will get to know as well, because you happen to have a YouTube channel of yours.
A budding talent.
And people can certainly follow Miss Taiba over here, on her YouTube channel as well. So please go ahead, an original of yours.
Yeah, this is my first song which I have written by my own self. It's कुछ लोग अलग से कुछ लोग अलग से होते हैं एहसास अलग जब वो सामने आ जाए अंदाज अलग से होते हैं उनकी हंसी उनकी खुशी मेरे लिए एक ख्वाब सा है हाँ वो जो दिखे तो मैं कहूँ उनका हुस्न आफताब सा है वो जो धड़कन में भी धड़कता है वो जो सांसों में भी चलता है कुछ लोग फिदा हो जाते हैं फिर यूं ही खफा हो जाते हैं पर सच में कहूँ वो खफा होना भी यार अलग सा होता है कुछ लोग अलग से होते हैं
Wow, yeah, that was wonderful. That was wonderfully written and it was beautifully composed as well. But one last question, Taiba, and that is, do you really have to be in love yourself to write such amazing lyrics?
No. Most of the people said that you look like that you are in love with someone, but no.
No? And then, you know, dhadkan bhi ban jate hain, you know, the lyrics in themselves. You know, you really need to imagine about that one particular person, I think.
feel like that, but I did not fall in love.
It's alright, but Taiba, we certainly want to wish you best of luck for your future endeavors. For any songs you release, and you will always have this platform supporting your music and the work you're doing. Thank you very much for being with us. And towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, actually, you know, since we're very happy, so we are actually going to wish birthdays to two of our wonderful colleagues. But number one, our producer, Hasnain Hamid, is a great guy. And number two, a fellow colleague, a co-anchor, you know, a wonderful lady, Miss Saima Ajam. It's her birthday too as well. But first things first, Hasnain Hamid, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen him converting into a very hard-working gentleman, because earlier when he started working for Pakistan Television, he would come 15 days and take 15 days off. But now, alhamdulillah, I've seen this shift. He just recently got engaged too as well. He's a hard-working, budding gentleman who every single day will have newer ideas for us to kind of introduce within our morning show as well. And a great gentleman. I hope that you're not going to take any more days off now, because you're finally on track, alhamdulillah, every single day, making sure that you're going to support what Jamshed Sultan Sahib has envisioned.
He's giving us treat because he keeps asking me for the treat. So, you know, it's his day, so I'm going to go and ask him for the treat.
No, but we cannot certainly take treat today because I'm not feeling well. You know, I really need to feel well to go out for a treat.
So he can order something for you, you know, that suits your the
and it's
health
just
of you.
because of the fact, because Haja ordered us a pizza once, which I wasn't a part of, but Hasnain Hamid, a very happy Hajj to you. Stay blessed, brother, and you've been doing great job lately, and please make sure that you continue to do so. भूल जाते हो तुम आगे पीछे निकल जाते हो, आगे पीछे नहीं निकलना. आपको आपकी सालगिरह बहुत-बहुत मुबारक हो. So can we sing him a birthday song? Can we do that? All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hasnain. Happy birthday, dear Hasnain. Happy Hajj Day to you. For everybody who's out there who's celebrating their birthdays today, may every single day coming ahead of your life brings you prosperity and success. And even if it's not your birthday, I wish the same for you all as well. Till the next time, look after yourselves. Please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of
World This Morning.
On your television screens as well. On Twitter.
World This Morning.
On Dailymotion and
World
YouTube.
This Morning.
The fabulous repeat is going to be at
5:10.
Yeah, it's 5 past 10. Till the next time, look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning.